now recording. Thank you, Craig.
Thank you, Joe Bob. Alright, so it's as usual, I'm Matt.
I'm Joe.
And we're here at Flite Fest 2023.
A little
bit. We just got here. Well, we got here hours and hours ago.
Not been that many hours. It's been
4?
Almost at 9, so
4 hours.
Yeah, 4 hours. It's not hours and hours.
Yeah, literally.
It's a few hours.
Yeah.
I guess if you say that 2 hours is hours,
right?
That's 2 sets of hours, so hours and hours.
Yeah. What?
Okay. So
anyway, we got here driving through a ton of rain, and you did the bulk of that driving. I appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem. I was actually pleased that,
it seemed uneventful otherwise.
Yeah. I was pleased that I was not falling asleep at the wheel, which I've done.
I appreciate it.
Well, yeah, but nodding off and fighting it. I fought it for a little bit.
Yeah, we both were fighting it, unfortunately, at the same moment.
Yeah. You were like, I'm going to take a nap and then maybe I'll take over. And I was like, oh, power through, Joe. And then, second wave kicked in, so.
Yeah, cool.
But yeah, we got here late. We had a late start this morning. Just things to do before we could hit the road, and yeah.
Like a large plane to repair.
Well, yeah. So, we're here, and together and for each of us, there's more planes in the back of that van than we've brought in previous years.
More than we thought we were going to bring this year. And yet, here we are with a ton of planes. But the difference is there are planes that are, with the exception of maybe 2 for each of us, are ready to fly.
Yeah. Yeah, so I've got some tweaking to control arms and servo arms to put on a couple, but the building's done. They've all got, all mine have electronics and motors and all put in them. So I guess tomorrow morning we'll get up bright and early and have to get batteries on chargers and...
Yeah, because we want to have some ready for the Wonder Jumble at 1 o'clock.
And the
or
Combat.
1:30. And some stuff ready for the Combat. So we need a battery for each of those.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to be helping Dan tomorrow morning.
What time is that, by the way?
I thought it was 10 o'clock.
Okay.
For the Bloody Baron builds, and then there's STEM stuff happening all day. So I know that'll be my volunteer activity, so I'll be helping out with that. I know are you still doing shuttles?
Yeah, I'll be doing shuttles. I need to look at the schedule and see when
Gallivanting around all day. Gallivanting around all day. So.
Oh yeah, meeting new people and chauffeuring.
Yes. Speaking of that, I already met somebody today.
Me too, but go ahead.
Go ahead. You tell me.
No,
you didn't tell me before.
You didn't tell me before.
I did.
You did?
You weren't listening.
Sounds like me. So we got some perishables and didn't bring ice, so I ran back off site to get ice. And at the gas station, I got an ice and was about to, I was putting it in the cooler, and a guy was walking in just to get stuff from the gas station. I don't know, but he saw me. He's like, "You must be, out there at that flight thing they do out there every year."
Yeah, because you're wearing the shirt, the volunteer shirt.
That might have been what kicked him off on it. And so we got to talking. His name was Doug. Doug, if you're listening, hey.
Hi, Doug.
But he was asking, I don't know. He wasn't sure what it was. I guess he's been on the sidelines, way out there watching from time to time. He said in the fall when the leaves all fall out of the trees.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
He does stuff out in these fields sometimes.
Yeah.
He says you just look out there and just see the trees full of planes
Oh,
where people have lost them.
oh my God. I didn't even think you just start walking through the woods and find everything.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So, but yeah, he was just asking about this, that, and that, and so I looked at, I pulled up the Flite Fest event on the phone, and I was like, yeah, I mean, it's not bad if you and your wife want to come out and have a look. Like, it's $12 a head for a day pass to spectate.
Just walk around and check it out and see what you're doing.
I mean, there's worse ways to spend $24.
Yeah.
For a whole day.
Yeah, I've spent that $24 before. The worst ways.
Yeah, so, yeah, and he may come out, and if he does, I told him, I said,
cool.
Look for us, or look for me, because you weren't there, but, we just got talking and told him we did the podcast and this, that, and
nice.
But I said, you go in this east entrance, he's familiar with the area, and I said, we'll probably have a flag up, so that'll be our camp.
Yeah, that's what we're going to do first thing tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I was looking through the build tents. I wanted to kind of see what was different about the setup this year, if anything.
Mm-hmm.
It looks pretty similar to last year.
Yeah.
I saw Ben's at A26 down there, looking good. He's got a little bit of work to finish up.
Ooh, that wind is kicking.
It's probably not going to get any better. This will be interesting. I'm glad we staked this easy up down.
Yeah. I'm glad we staked everything down. Yeah. Oh, and we'll just have to see how these mics do with the wind.
We'll see.
And I'll let you continue your story in a second, but while I'm thinking of it, two things have changed since the last time we tried these lapel mics. One, switching the recording program. And two, I think the reason your mic wasn't picking up was there was a little adapter piece in line that I didn't see.
Yeah.
That was like converting it for use
after.
with a computer. And I think that was messing with the mic levels. Mm-hmm. So, anyway, so you saw Ben's.
Yeah, and I ended up, while I was at the one tent, I met up with a gentleman. His name's Sean, I think, Killen? I think it's oh man, I've messed his last name up. But anyway, he and his son, he said he's here with his son Abram and his wife and his son, and his son was getting kind of excited about it. Saw him on YouTube, started getting involved, and they came to get involved and just try everything. And he said he's checked out the Power Up, the newest one that's got a little bit more power on it and has differential thrust on it. So he's been experimenting a ton with that and having a great time. And
now, what's Power Up? Is that like their little kid plane now?
No.
Or?
No. That's a sister. That's lifting.
Yep, Muttley didn't do his. We'll be back. Hi, we're back.
Right.
Had to quickly stake down and easy up.
We may want to pound this other one in before we go to bed.
Oh yeah, he didn't.
We got it staked, but it's.
Yeah, I'll hammer those down before we.
Okay, so I was talking to him about he and his son, their sudden, recent interest, and they're just excited to be here, and they're like, well, what do we need to do to kind of get started? And they're going to get, I think, an easy kit and attend some of the STEM stuff. And they want to do the Bloody Baron build. I said, okay, well, that's awesome. We're excited. I'm excited for you. He's like, where can I? So I pointed him to different things. I told him, I said, look, my buddy and I run a podcast, and I told him about us, and he said, oh, that sounds great. So I showed him, the logo and so he could read it himself. And I told him, I said, we're over near the entrance. We'll have a flag tomorrow, much like you said. And we just had a great conversation talking about this and that. He's apparently a cartographer from Tennessee. And, we just kind of hit it off and chatted for a while. Now, I'm sure we'll see him a bunch during the week here. He's camping a little ways down. So.
Okay.
But it's good to, and then, kind of just say, I give him a couple of quick pointers. Like, don't be afraid to ask sponsor, somebody who he can point you to help you set it up. Don't be afraid to ask somebody to, if you've never done it, maybe give the maiden flight to trim it out so that it'll fly the way it's supposed to for you. Mm-hmm. And it'll give you the best chance at having success when you get a chance, when you go fly it. I said, but, ask around, ask for help. Don't be shy. Everybody here wants to see you in the air.
That's right.
you know. And it's like, oh, cool. Awesome. So, yeah, it was good. So, hi, Sean. Hi, Abram.
Hey, Sean. Hey, Abram.
I'll meet Abram later, but I'm sure. Yeah, it was good. It's we haven't been here too long, and already terrible folly and a good beginning as well.
Do we want to talk about that?
Yeah, it's embarrassing, but I brought a tent, and I thought the rainfly was in it, and I knew it was going to thunderstorm probably because that's just the way of it. But we unfolded it. It's the Taj Mahal version, you know, and there's no rainfly in there.
Not,
I mean, always
not a rainfly in sight.
I always put the rainfly. Apparently, I can't say it anymore. But I always put the rainfly in the tent when I break it down.
So you fold it up.
So I fold it in and it's there. When I open it up, it's there again. Well, it wasn't
funny how
there.
that works.
It wasn't there. Neither were the stakes. It was going to be a mess. So
oh, you didn't have stakes either?
no.
Oh,
no,
man.
I missed all sorts of things. Anyway, it's a giant behemoth of a tent. It's a pain in the butt to work with. So I went out and picked up something far better fitting to what I needed. So, yeah.
I'm glad that worked out.
It just took a couple hours. And that's a couple hours I probably could have brought our plane down to fix up and have it ready for tomorrow.
Well, we'll take care of that in the morning.
Yeah,
and,
we're piling a lot of things on the morning, and it's already 2 o'clock almost.
Yeah, well.
It's going to come quick with those airplanes.
Well, I love you, buddy, and I'd have been happy to share my tent with you.
Mm-hmm. We would have worked it out. The default was to buy a small bed that would fit comfortably in the tent with all the stuff.
Alongside my giant thing?
Yep.
Yeah.
But I didn't need it, so it'll work out.
Okay.
Very good.
Well, we'll see how long this episode is. It's Wednesday night, and we're at 12 minutes now, so...
We're just going to snip like 3 seconds out of each of these conversations here.
Just 3 seconds?
Yeah.
What 3 seconds are you going to choose?
I don't know. Probably a whole bunch of nonsense. It'll be entertaining for me.
Probably the part where we go, oh, that's about to blow over.
Tink, 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 tink. Yeah.
Oh, I had that turned off, don't worry.
No, don't. You should record it when we do the next.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah.
All right.
That's it. That's it for now.
Yeah, that's it. Tomorrow we get into it proper.
Mm-hmm. Should be fun.
All right, see y'all then.
Bye.
Good Friday morning. This is Joe doing shuttle duty. I've already had to make a few runs. I got to see a couple people. With this job, I just drive the golf cart around and give people rides where they need to go. Help reduce time needed and energy expended, and I try to keep an eye out, especially for older folks or folks with kids that maybe could use a break. So, yeah, that's what I'm doing this morning. I don't know if I'll be able to get anybody to put a mic on, but if I meet somebody interesting, I think might want to put the mic on for a few minutes, I'll invite them on. Otherwise, yeah, we'll catch up with you guys later. Joe back. I found somebody to talk to. This is
Billy Parker. I'm down by Galveston, Texas.
out of Galveston, Texas. That was a ride.
Yes, sir. Sure was.
You having a good time?
Oh, awesome. My son was in the AMA camp. He made Eagle Scout, and they gave him a scholarship to come up here. So we came up here a week before Flite Fest, and
That's awesome.
Got his camp in, and we headed over this way.
That's really great. Congratulations on Eagle Scout.
Yes, sir. He worked hard for it,
Yes.
and he's only 13.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Well, congratulations. Yeah, well, I'll keep an eye on him real quick for just a minute. What do you... Oh, somebody flying by. What have you enjoyed most, and what are you looking forward to out here today?
Just meeting the people. You know, the flying community is awesome. You know, everybody's friendly, and it's a fun time.
It's a very open environment, yeah.
Yes, it is. The build tents. I like to see the younger kids in building.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the building kind of went away for a little while, but it's come back.
Did we get her where she needs to be?
Go ahead. he had to run. He's on parking duty, and had a U-Haul come in that parked like they knew where they were parking, but turns out they were looking for somebody to direct them. So anyway, I'm gonna get back to shuttle duty. All right. Matt is getting pictures. Hey, Matt.
Okay.
Hook it on.
Okay. Big news ready? Power up. Ready, go.
That looks like it's gonna. That's gonna crash. That's gonna crash into the crowd. That thing.
So if I don't wreck mine. All these successful launches. Can the little ones go like that?
Yeah, little ones. Ready, go.
Oh, one of them already crashed.
You ready, Joe?
He's going out to get it to launch.
Yeah, I was just trying to do a thing. All right. Taking off.
It's gonna be hard to back up flying.
Telemetry lost. Telemetry recovered.
Oh, two of them almost hit.
All right, so we're all in the air now. Mine kind of sketch, but I'm up there.
Let's go with the
Telemetry lost.
Do a fast flyby.
Telemetry recovered.
Oh yeah, that's
Telemetry lost. Telemetry
Oh no!
70 mile an hour right there.
Somebody took me out. Matt, was that you?
No.
Telemetry
Are you
lost.
taking the big one down?
Nope. I had a CG.
Your battery?
Just set her down as nice and gentle.
big one's about to.
All right.
Hey, all right.
Well, I think you and I hit.
I think one of the batteries dislodged a bit, and the CG went, whoa.
Yeah, because I definitely hit somebody.
Did you?
Yeah, and I think it was you because it was a big one.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. So we took each other out.
It only fits.
Way over there to the right.
Seems about right.
Yeah. Okay, let's step back.
Yeah. So not exactly how we pictured. Oh, we're about back into Brian.
That's okay.
Not exactly how we pictured that going down, but
How's it flying, Brian? Oh, look at that. Oh, Proversio for the win.
where is he? Oh, I see him.
No rudder or no elevator in that one.
Yeah, that's where it's at, man. God, I love that. I'll just watch Brian's. No, it is awesome to see all these noobs flying, and some aggressive, some gentle.
Yeah.
I'm glad it did not tank the big plane on the first flight.
Yeah, I mean, it went down, but
No, CG lost. CG shifted. CG shifted. So either a battery went or a control surface went. I can't tell which.
I think Matt and I had contact. That's what I think.
If you took me down, man.
Yeah, well, sorry. You flew into me, by the way.
Look at that guy. He's so good.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the Pink Panther one.
Yeah.
There it is. Yeah, that's a 220% or something. Looks so good. Look at all them.
Oh, inverted.
Yeah.
I think. No. Now inverted.
They're all over the place. This is so good.
Yeah.
Hey, Brian, if your battery lasts 5 minutes longer, it's because of that Prandtl thing.
No, I could probably fly for an hour on this battery.
I believe it. What size battery you got in there?
It's a 6500
Oh my God.
3S high voltage.
Somebody's ripping it up right here with the colors.
Yeah.
Is that Spitfire? That might be Spitfire.
Oh!
What happened?
Oh no. I don't know. That went straight in, nose first. He'll have it repaired in 10 minutes.
Did you see the pink dust come off of that?
Man, I got some signal.
Yikes, man.
Oof.
Yeah, if it's down near the derrick, we gotta watch out.
Other way behind you. Landing right there. So it's not red? Oh, sorry. I like the landing sign.
That one looks good.
Mm-hmm.
Got a bloody baron up there.
Yeah, there's one bloody baron who joined us. He says, all right, and I said, it's just fun. Let's have a good time.
I tell you what, that one, I think that's Spitfire up there ripping it.
Could very well be. Look at that tiny plane.
Contact.
Sorry about that. Was that you, Lucas?
I don't know.
Oh!
Pulled the motor off. How did that
Oh! It was good up until the last second.
happen? I wasn't even spinning it.
Yeah, motor came right off.
Oh, that was him that was
Twice
ripping
that
it.
thing's popped up.
So what we do is if you're gluing it directly on, I glue an extra piece of foam on the
tried that.
outside. You did?
Yeah.
Didn't work?
Mm-hmm. Nope, pulled it off both times.
Well,
Twice.
yeah.
Twice now.
Well, stop spinning motors.
Yeah, don't get it. That's what? Yeah, we're good. I have a 9x8 prop on it.
Okay.
Running 4-cell
Yeah,
on the FTC, the C-Pack.
that's crazy.
It's about 70, 75 miles an hour.
Yeah, that's a fast one.
And
It looks good.
It pulled,
Did you get the decal set,
It pulled the motor off.
or did you make your own decal set? Oh wow, you oh that's why 3D printed. It heated up.
Yep, it melted it.
I mean, and
the
the
screws are straight unscrewed.
yeah.
Did you only have one screw in it?
No, I had 4.
Well, it looks like you only have one.
Left to right.
Landing left to right.
Landing left to right. Watch on your left.
No, back up.
Here you go.
Back up.
Whew. Coming in hot.
Whoa! Oh, there we go. It's landed.
That's one way to do it.
Oh,
Ah, busted
there
prop.
goes a prop.
I think that's Mut. Is that Muttley?
Yeah. Mudley, what happened?
I forgot they did the kill switch.
Oh, yeah, that'll do it. I hope I still have a prop on mine. That came down nice and gentle. I'm glad I was able to control it just enough.
I'm glad yours came down nice and gentle. I had nothing.
Did that go nose in?
Huh?
Did yours go nose in? Uh-oh.
All I have to do is just float up here and outlast all you guys.
That's it.
Nice.
Well, there's Richard.
Oh, did he just put it up again?
Yeah, I think so.
Look at this one slow flying. Look at that envelope.
Man. All right, it's down to Spitfire and Brian. Rah rah.
No, it's just a thing.
Oh, you too. Everybody say cheese. You two's flying over.
Yeah.
Everybody smile. Coming in. Get it? It's a recon plane. Get it? Taking a recon. Yeah, it is loud.
That sounds really good.
Yeah, the one. Yeah, the jet with the one. The model of a spy plane. This is Brian, man. I love the flying, man.
You gotta walk to get out there to get your monster.
Yeah, I know. It's gonna be what it is. You know? Once I knew it was out there, I was like, well, it'll be a walk.
Well, it was nice talking to you guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
Podcast, always enjoy all the work, and that's what inspired me
Good to meet
get
you.
into this and build this one. So
So good.
appreciate it, guys.
Yeah.
Have a good one.
We have other people starting to.
What's that?
Are you guys still flying?
No, mine's way out there. It
Oh, I
the
saw the
CG
giant
shifted and it went.
Did-
I was able to bring
Did you
it
get
gentle.
tapped?
I think
I think
think
he and
this-
I collided
this guy did.
because I went down hard.
I did not make it in time. I was still wrapping stuff up at the build tent.
You're fine.
And I don't have any batteries charged, so I'll try and make it.
Yeah, next time.
I brought my plane over though, just to. That's
cool.
Yeah. Seeing all those wonders, that's
Yeah,
pretty cool.
it sure is nice. All right, and then, yeah, it's only what? Thursday. Usually
Correct.
Friday and Saturday, there's way more going on.
All right.
All right.
Hang on, let me end it real quick and then. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It is 1:52 a.m. Friday morning / Thursday night.
Oh, the other way around. Friday evening, Saturday morning.
Did I get the days wrong again?
Yep.
All right.
It's late. It's Friday.
It's early Saturday morning, late Friday night. And we didn't end up recording anything last night because,
I don't know. I was tired.
yeah, you were.
So were you.
Well, yeah.
Just kind of like we are now. But we had a busy day. We had a busy couple days.
Yeah, and we knew it was going to be busy coming in up here.
Yeah.
That we'd have a lot that we were doing and things to do, things that need to be done. But we got your wonder up, your giant wonder up in the first wonder fly.
Mm-hmm.
And then today we got, well, you finished up my new
I
wonder
finished
between
repairing
yesterday
it.
and today.
Yep. Getting it ready.
Yep. And first off, thank you for that.
Yeah.
But also, I am so glad that it's done
Mm-hmm.
and they flew together.
Yep. Me too.
Yep. You
Yeah, we
flew
got
it. I
we got
flew
a
it.
chance today at our Wonder Jumble to fly both of them, along with all the people who had brought their noobs, including their noobs and their wonders, including Dan Spons and his whole crew. Had a bunch of Angel Wonders, and our, I'll call our crew, but our listeners and everybody who just showed up. We want to thank you guys for taking part yesterday and today.
And for those that are going to be participating tomorrow.
Yeah, well, thank you.
'Cause we got
But
one
we'll
more.
do that. We'll do that tomorrow around the road home.
So I went and looked at one of the pictures that was taken, and I can't guarantee that it accounted for everybody that was there,
Mm-hmm.
but there was 13 regular-sized wonders
Okay.
in that picture that we all got together and
Nice.
took.
Good. Cool.
And then with the two giants,
Yep.
there were 15 wonders at the Wonder Fly in.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? How would you characterize your wonder when it flew? Other than the tail issue.
Yeah, honestly, I had, so mine was underpowered, which I was running, borrowed prop from Muttley, I think.
Right. Yep. And it was a
15
far
by
less
6.
aggressive prop.
Yeah, what are you running on yours?
15 by 10.
That explains a
So
lot.
I'm running at like 40% power. You're running at like 90.
Yeah. Yeah, there was multiple times I was full tilt.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so the hand launch.
Yeah.
The hand launch.
I think we had Tony. Did Tony launch mine today?
Yeah,
No,
Tony launched yours and Muttley launched mine.
Right.
And I went up to the half throttle that I was expecting,
Mm-hmm.
and he gave it the chuck, and it immediately started descending, and I had to punch it to
Okay.
get it up.
Okay.
And then we got up, got oriented. It before I say how it flew, I enjoyed catching up to you, and then the two kind of formation turns that we did together.
Yep.
I don't know how much of that you were paying attention to.
No,
but
I did. It was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Going through those turns together. And then, hearing all the other wonders take off and just swarm the sky.
Yep. And then just started coming after us and just flying around. And it wasn't a combat, so it was fun to really see.
No, but at least one noob got eat up.
There's a couple that went in. And yesterday, we also had, if you've been paying attention to the Flite Test forum or Flite Test fans page, I think on Facebook, there's a gentleman who I've seen him pull out 8 different very large planes, I think, over the last couple of days.
Mm-hmm.
But he put together a Pink Panther using the Owens Corning like fanfold pink foam.
Mm-hmm.
It is 220%. Now we saw it and we talked about it, but we watched it fly yesterday, and it flew pretty well. And then something happened and he nosed it straight in. I mean, straight in. And he talked to me. He's like, I lost 2 feet on that plane. I'm like, oh, yikes. And he said, yeah, most of the stuff is pretty toast. He was bummed out because he really wanted to fly it with us, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Again, because that would have been a lot of fun. I don't know. I didn't see Obi's Wonder.
Obi?
Ben Harbor's son.
Ah, right.
Right. And
did he bring it out today?
No, but because he flew it, and I think it went straight into the woods.
No.
Unfortunately, I got to see if we can find maybe somebody who made a video of it. Because it went pretty far straight back. So, anyway.
Well, I know the first Wonder Jumble, kind of rewinding a little bit on that.
That's the first one that he threw the Obi through his
my eyes were on my plane the whole time because I had the hardest time flying that Wonder.
Mm-hmm.
It was crazy because I've not had problems with it, but especially with the Aura just made it easy. But long story short on that, the Aura crashed that plane.
You think?
Yeah.
You shouldn't be. Look, I'll just leave you nickname it Crutch and we'll leave it there.
Oh.
Well, when you stop using the Aura board. I'm kidding.
Ultimately, bought it. I want to use it.
I know, that's fine.
It's the first plane I put in. Give me some slack.
Anyway, my point is, it's fine. But, unfortunately, what happened on that first combat? Or first one?
That's what I'm talking about. So, with that, because normally there's 2 things that get shoved behind the battery when I put the battery in,
mm-hmm.
and that's the receiver and the battery checker.
Okay.
Well, just in the rush to get out there for the first Wonder Jumble fly-in.
Okay.
There were 2 things that got shoved behind the battery, but I didn't put a battery checker in it.
Okay.
So that second thing was the Aura.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't secured to its normal position. I didn't even pay attention or think about it.
Oh, no, you had to move it around.
The Aura was all out of orientation.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, it's a wonder I could fly it at
Yeah, I'm surprised.
Yeah.
And then what happened? It's what caused his demise, right?
Well, yeah. I was gonna say.
I just flew around.
Are you gonna claim it?
Well, no, I didn't do anything. I just flew my plane.
You just flew your plane.
I just flew my plane.
And I was trying to fly mine until your plane, huge, came out of nowhere. But no, I was battling mine because of the Aura.
Joe's like, you killed my plane. You killed my plane. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't think so. I'm like,
yeah.
I really doubt it.
I mean,
I would have remembered, I think.
I was able to share the pictures in Discord with the guys.
But you found a picture of just that moment.
Hanging. Because I heard this whack, and then my plane just straight nosedive.
Well, apparently it flew for another 6 minutes after. Whatever was wrong with the prop went fine.
Well, yours, yeah.
Yeah, but
mine didn't fly. Mine proceeded to nosedive straight in.
Yeah.
And when I got out to it, there was prop cuts all over it, and
2 or 3 that one went straight through the firewall.
Yeah, so the guts were all hanging out, and the guys were like, "Oh, that, it's a good one when the guts are hanging." But yeah, your prop just barely missed my motor.
Yeah.
And sliced through the firewall, tore the firewall up,
yeah,
continued on through the fuse, and hit the wing. And then the next prop came, next blade came around and cut it further back of the plane. Yeah, so my ESC wire got yanked.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to have to see if I can resolder that. You actually nicked my battery, but I checked the battery. It's fine.
Okay, good.
That firewall's destroyed.
Well, that's easy to replace.
Yeah, so. But yeah. Oh, and you cut one of my servo leads.
To the ESC lead, one of the ones when you should, and it looked like it really just kind of came apart. You probably could resolder it.
Yeah,
So
the
we'll have-
ESC lead I can probably put back on.
Yeah,
So-
so I told you, why are you whining? Anyway, so both the first time I brought the plane in and it came in pretty well, and the second time, so we flew around for a good long time.
Yeah, y'all flew for a while.
Yeah, and then
It sucks because I was like 40 seconds and then I
Yeah.
was out.
well, on that first one. Okay, on
Yeah.
the one today though,
Oh, yeah.
we flew around for a good 8-10 minutes. I think at 8 minute mark you had to come in.
Yeah, at the 8-minute
'Cause
mark was
you were
when I came
you were
in.
rolling far more throttle than me.
I had full throttle throughout most of it, and I was having to throw extreme inputs to get any kind of reaction out of it.
Mm-hmm. So, all right. So you flying around. Were people coming in at that point? People kind of go, "Oh, my battery's gone."
No, not really.
Okay.
I mean, some people had ended up in the corn at that point, but
Okay.
nobody was really landing due to being out of power. I was sort of the first one to come down for that
Okay.
purpose, and then botch the landing.
Well, okay.
You would ask
What kind of botching?
the kind of botching where, because I don't know why the inputs. It's not that the
Well,
inputs were
How about this?
sluggish.
How was it to bring that size plane in on such a, well, I'll call it a thin landing surface? Because we had the crowd had moved up to the landing strip,
Yeah.
basically. So
And that's ultimately what messed me up, because I didn't. Again, because she was not responding well to inputs, and not just sluggish, like full extreme inputs,
Yeah.
trying to control her, and then trying to line it up, and part of that lining it up turned it towards the crowd.
the cross breeze, the breeze was coming from behind us.
Yeah,
So those big tail fins were grabbing and, of course, pushing away from us, which means the nose was turning towards
swung
us.
the nose around. Yeah,
Unfortunately.
and so it ended
And
up.
there's no rudder to counteract. We only had the aileron.
It ended up kind of close and low, turning in more towards the crowd. So that's when I banked as hard as I could and gave it just a little bit of throttle to get some wind across the control surfaces, and that's where she kind of rolled and then, nose down
It
and
rolled a
caught
little
the
to the
wing
left. Yeah, it caught a wingtip and kind of
and broke the firewall.
and broke the motor off at the firewall and broke the firewall,
Yeah,
which is pretty impressive. So well done, sir.
yeah. Thank you. And
And
then,
all I heard was a, oh, ooh.
yeah, that was what hurt the most.
Like
was
the whole crowd was
the whole
like,
crowd's like,
invested.
"Oh."
Yeah. Because they knew coming in, like the landing's going to be the hard part, But I mean, I imagine you got a lot of support. And you're actually like, I think I did something to the plane. I'm looking, flying around. I glance down. I'm like, that looks like a whole plane. I don't even see any dents. Okay, cool. You're fine.
I didn't even get a good look at the wing and all that to see the kind of, just the firewall popped out, and then, so we know that's a problem.
Well,
And then
whatever.
the tail
It's-
section, something's going on.
No, what happened was the paper was pulling up from the foam. Honestly, it's been wet and damp
Yeah, it has.
for a whole day and a half now. It's been raining on and off, and the foam board is just not having it
Okay.
at all. And so the foam board, the paper is coming off the foam
Okay.
at stress points. So
Well, that can be remade.
it can be remade, and honestly, that's what I'm going to have to do to basically put that back in the air. I'm not going to fix it here. I need to fix the firewall, rebuild it completely. So that's not probably going to happen. But mine is still somewhat flight worthy. I can probably still repair it and have one more flight tomorrow. Maybe two. If I fly well, I'll probably put it in the combat that follows up at 2.
Yeah, because why not?
And why not? And see what happens. And that's what everybody's been wanting for pretty much the entire time. Hopefully it's not raining. Other than that, what about today? How's the day been? I mean, it's been a busy day. Do you get up in any combats?
I did not, and those are the 2 flights I've had.
Okay.
Was the real quick short with the aura board being out of whack because my own fault, I didn't check, and then the giant noob,
Yeah.
which was
By the way, good flying. You were doing some really good flying.
I enjoyed going through those turns with you.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, we'll have video that can be watched, but we have multiple people that were recording, so we'll get at least some decent video up as best we can.
Yeah.
But once we both launched and got up there, I was able to cut the path to get caught up to you, and then we went through 2 turns. I wouldn't exactly call them flying formation, but we were
In sync,
together.
yeah, generally together.
Gently
It's
taking
good.
the turns. That was nice. That was a lot of fun.
So let's shift gears.
Okay.
I mean, that was the exciting part for us. For me, it was great to do that with listeners, people who found the Noob Wonder an exciting plane to build. They were like, that's the one I want, which, I don't know, made me feel pretty good. I don't know about you, Joe.
I enjoyed, so today, again, the nerves of I'm flying this thing, but it was nice. You all right, bud? Good. All right.
Excellent.
Can't make just rolled into his bed.
Trying to avoid shoes.
That's fair.
Oh, yeah.
That's fair. So nerves, but so not paying a whole lot of attention to some other things that were going on around.
Mm-hmm.
But we got an opportunity to set the Giants out and get everybody together for a group picture.
Right.
So that was really enjoyable to just be have the community and be all of us together.
Yeah.
Because we've seen the pictures, we've seen people excited. So just to see everybody come together.
Yeah, it's really awesome. And meet all the people who come out to Flite Fest from wherever they came from. Meeting Tony was excellent. Seeing him, it's all the people we've talked to or seen in build nights and other things like that. And just getting to meet them in person. I'm still impressed that Richard came all the way from California. He flew out. So it's great to see him and meet him and get to spend some time with him. What I think what I really enjoyed, other than those, I love that. The other thing I love to see is that I'm in the STEM tents, and we're in one of the build tents, and we're seeing just a lot of families kind of just exploring, and just proud parents watching their kids, and probably for the first time they're seeing their kids in an element that they can thrive in, and they're really just doing amazing stuff.
Yeah.
Like a kid tonight. He just built his Bloody Baron yesterday, started flying for the first time in 3 years, and apparently last time he hit it into a barn, and that was when it stopped.
Oof.
Yeah. But he was, and I've got a little, we'll listen to my interview with him, but it was a lot of fun. So we'll listen to that in a minute. Just getting to meet a bunch of people who are really excited and passionate about flight in different ways. We got a couple people who I think we're going to bring on and talk to in a little bit more depth, because they have some interesting ideas on how to help people get into the hobby. Another avenue or a different avenue besides flight tests. So some pretty interesting things. So just some exciting stuff going on.
Yeah. And
getting to meet people again. So.
Good
night, Matt.
Getting to meet people. So I'm going back to the Noob Wonder thing, but just to say this, because between yesterday and then this morning, you've been full tilt and focused intently on getting them done.
So we had an opportunity to fly together.
Right. And thank you for that. And we did it. And now, because it's done, and I'm glad to see that you're able to start. I guess I won't say finally enjoying Flite Fest, because you have been, but
finally be able to relax.
Now you're going to be able to settle in, relax, like this afternoon after the Wonder Fly. But even all through that, I'm watching you build, and I'm kind of around, but I just didn't know what a whole lot I could do to help you.
There isn't a whole lot I could describe that anybody could just go do.
Right.
Unless you're like, I'm going to solve the problem this way. Okay, cool. That sounds like it'll work. Go do it.
So I took the opportunity yesterday and today, a lot of yesterday and then a lot today, rolled around and meeting people that listen to us, people who don't,
meeting new people, telling them about us.
Yeah, working in the Dan's Bloody Baron build tent.
Just tell them about Flite Fest if they didn't know what was going on, because a lot of people don't.
Yeah.
A lot of people, it's their first time ever checking out planes and RC stuff. That's pretty cool. Hey, speaking of, if you came by our tent, there's a really good chance we weren't there.
Yeah, sorry about that. In past years, we have spent a lot more time in the campsite.
Yeah, part of it is where we ended up being is further away from the build tents.
But Matt and Ethan have told us that a fair number of people have come by the campsite.
Yep.
And,
so if they're rude to you, we're sorry. Just kidding. They weren't rude to you. Kidding. We had fun. Honestly, just thank you for stopping over.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully you caught up with us in the build tents or wherever we were at. And we'll look forward to seeing you Saturday tonight. Later today,
yeah.
But yeah, let's.
I had a kid in the Bloody Baron build tent that I ended up just spending a good bit of time with, helping him build, and then his mom was there, and so talking with the kid, his name was Aaron, and then talking with his mother, and that was yesterday, and I saw him a couple times yesterday.
Okay.
And
did we get any recordings?
Hmm?
Did we get any conversations with him?
Not yet.
Okay. So it's possible there may still be some to add.
Yeah, so I tried to link up with him today. So I saw him again today, and he was telling me about this bomb drop that he's been trying, that he's working on. Okay. He hasn't put it on yet, and then I went to sit down and do a recording. I was linking up with him. I was like, here, we put the mic on you, we can chat, and, he's young, squirreling.
Yeah, that's everybody here.
Oh, yeah.
That's
great.
great.
And he had a friend that he linked up with, who is one of our listeners, and so they were all flying and doing things.
That's so much fun.
And it was nice watching Mom be just in a happy place with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm hoping tomorrow I'll be able to sit with him for a few minutes and let him talk to me about his bomb drop thing.
I hope so. Hey, we, for the first time, I got the night fly, too.
You did?
We both did. I mean, we both went up to the night flight line, and for the first time, I threw a plane in the air that had LEDs, and it was just simply an easy pack, with the little light extensions. The new ones have got some juice behind them. They fly, which is pretty cool. I'm excited.
It blew my socks off how fast that was whipping around.
It was flying really good, too. It was flying pretty much like a regular RC plane, but it wasn't one.
Yeah.
It's just that little 2-channel thing. So
and almost it is 2-channel, but 2-channel in that it's differential thrust.
It's weird
for turning.
It's weird, but it's still you fly it like you fly a regular plane.
Yeah.
It's neat. Anyway, it's something we'll talk about more in the future.
It's not. I know what I'm buying tomorrow.
Yeah, you need to buy one.
And I'm buying 2 of them.
Yeah, I'm going to buy another one.
Yep.
I'm going to buy one for Amy and her family.
Yep. And I'm going to buy one for me so that one for me, one for Rachel. And tomorrow night, you and I are night flying, buddy.
Yeah, I'm going to figure out how we're going to power a different strip. Like maybe put some other colors on there or something. We'll figure it out. Not a big deal. All right. I think I'm starting to get cold. I'm already tired. So why don't we cut it here and we'll talk to you guys tomorrow.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else. There's so much that's been happening.
I know, there's so much. We'll talk about it after, too. Just trying to capture some of the things. And I'm tired and I'm starting to shiver.
Yeah, Matt's looking at me like, please, Joe, please.
No, I'm telling you, I'm shivering.
Oh, it's not even an asking anymore. It's a telling.
It's happening.
Okay.
So,
well, at this point, I guess we'll play the interview you had with...
Yeah. Well, we'll fit them in.
Yeah. Well,
it'll be good.
It'll happen. We'll catch you guys, I guess, Saturday night.
Catch you tomorrow.
Bail now.
All right, I'm audio recording. Sorry about that. That is nuts.
Everybody needs to fly out past the giant Flite Fest feather flag. Oh, there was one wing. Oh, big plane down. Big plane down. Oh, man. Push it out, push it out. If you can take Peter down, if you can take Peter down, I'm going to give you a prize.
Beautiful flying, Matt.
Thanks, bud. Try not to just stay at the edges.
They're trying.
Yeah, they are.
If you have not, if you're still flying, you stay up there. If you're done flying, come back here and stay with me. Come back here and stay with me. Make sure we're flying out past the flight test feather flag. Thank you very much.
Every time you cut through, I think you're going to take 2 or 3 with you.
Yeah, I gotta come in a little bit closer to this.
All right, we also, so the black and yellow hot wire foam factory is up there somewhere. I can't find him. Where is he? He's over there. Black and yellow.
That's on purpose.
Coming central, right here. Right on his little wings, right there, right in the middle.
Nice recovery.
Oh no, that was on purpose.
I know, but still.
Yeah, just in case.
Oh! Tim's up there. Big old Tim.
You got a wing coming after you. He's coming up on you. Nice dodge, nice dodge.
Oh, darn it.
Keep on pushing out. Keep going, everybody. We don't want anybody near anybody. Except if you're near.
I think you might have clipped that one.
All right, so hot wire foam factory. That's
Man, she's cruising.
Also losing.
You about got that wing.
Tim needs to become.
That was Ethan's wing.
Is it?
Yeah.
Or at least half the size. I like it. All right, listen. Tim is on the chopping block. Tim and hot wire foam guys is on the chopping block right now. Right now. If you take the giant, big old plane, honestly the second, it's either the biggest or the second biggest airplane up there, the gray one. He's floating in the middle.
Nice hammerhead.
Wing over. Let's push it out, get it out there. Push it out.
Is he real slow?
Yes. That's
You got a little
all right.
one trying to
Here's what
play
we're gonna
with
do.
you.
I need everybody to the right of the feather flag. Go do a little scenario out here on the right. Everybody to the left of the feather flag. You guys do a little pattern to your left. And we're going to do our joust again. Yeah, we're going to try a couple different things with this joust. If this one doesn't work, if this one doesn't work, we're going to do a couple swirly bird jousts in the middle as well. All right, you guys ready? In 3, 2, 1, and attack the airplane.
Get him.
Come on.
Come on, somebody's got to hit somebody. Oh, FT fire. With the handler.
Oh, yeah.
And FT fire turned into a helicopter.
Right, that dude was awesome. Who got you?
Oh, he don't know. He
He didn't
recovered.
go down, but
Yeah, he recovered, but only barely. He was feet off the ground.
Of the build tent on the west side.
Let's do it one more time.
Or no, east side. Sorry, long. East side. All right, we're gonna do that one more time. You guys ready? We're gonna do east versus west. East versus west.
All right, separate yourselves.
So you come the other way now?
All right. So now, in 3, 2, 1, joust. Go, 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 go.
I want to see that thing
Find
up
them.
and down. Come on.
What is going on? All right. All right, listen. Now what we're going to do, we're going to separate you guys.
Recover. Nice.
That is in 3 feet.
Excellent, bro.
it's crooked.
Oh, yeah, it's crooked. Yeah, it's crooked.
That big old thing, bang, down. All right, so. All right, so what we're going to do, we're going to separate you guys again, but we're going to actually have you guys attack.
Oh, yes.
And the wonders.
Oh.
The Edison, whoever just took out the big old wonder, come see me.
Oh, that was me taking out the pig.
All right, push it out. So what keep pushing out. What I need you guys to do is I need you guys to joust each other, okay, left and right. Oh, look at that. He's got a tail.
That was awesome.
Got him.
That was great.
He got you. Were you the big guinea pig?
He's doing it for me. This is great. This is what it should be. That's how it works. Yeah, this is foam everywhere. I love it. I hear foam not sound yet.
I think it's time to buy a new.
So, this is what I want you guys to do. I want you to get as close to the Flite Test feather flag as possible. Okay? My family to the east of me, you guys are gonna be down low, and you're gonna cyclone around the Flite Test feather flag. My people to the west of me, y'all are gonna be up higher, okay, above the Flite Test feather flag. You guys are gonna go counterclockwise, okay? And then when I say go, y'all are gonna come down, the other people are gonna go up, and we're gonna have some fun, okay? I don't see many people high though, so it's okay. I need my west people to go counterclockwise, my east people to go clockwise.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's possible.
His bag is Matt hit him.
Round the Flite Test flag.
But yeah, they
Might be too complicated.
ended up taking him out.
Because I know I like to turn left.
I saw a few bounce off him.
Yeah, he had a couple. He had a little one that he hit that he hit or they hit him. But I mean, they were only feet off the ground when they were coming.
I saw that wing bounce off him. He just kind of whoa, and he caught it and came back in.
All right, can we make a cyclone boat? You all can go at the same time. Cyclone as close and tight as possible to the Flite Test feather flag. You guys ready? Go. Just make it like a tornado around the Flite Test feather flag. You know, some of you go one way, maybe some of you go the other way. I'm sure there's some. Oh, there we go.
That's a foam wonder.
We got you guys way up there. Let's bring it down low. Let's bring it down low.
That pack of volunteers,
Very tight.
they're the ones who I ran into, which ultimately took me down.
Oh!
They're the ones running the big guinea.
That was rough.
I think do we have all 3 kits assigned? Or is it only 2 that's
I
ultimately
think 2
assigned?
we figured out. Hank and then
I know they're getting a prize from Flite
Oh,
Test.
dang, that wing is getting long to top.
That's actually Lucas's brother.
I'll leave that up to you.
Nice. What's up, Lucas? Oh!
All right, we're recording. All right, well, I'm sitting here with
Aaron Shomo.
Aaron Shomo, and this is a young man that I got to spend some time with in the Bloody Baron build tent, and got to help him build his Bloody Baron.
Yeah.
But you were telling me after you got it built that you designed a bomb drop for this, yeah?
Yeah, so basically you just hook a servo on the bottom, and on your control horn you put a popsicle stick and connect it to the servo horn with glue or whatever you have, and then put a zip tie on your whatever bomb you're using.
Okay.
And hook it on the popsicle stick or whatever you have. And then, since mine is a 3-channel airplane and I choose ailerons and elevator, I use the rudder for when I push left rudder, the servo horn pulls down and the bomb slides right off.
That's a good way to do it. That is really good looking. I'm going to take a picture of that so we can include it in our notes.
Okay.
Now, you can also look into, your transmitter may have switches.
Yeah.
So you may be able to look into getting that connected to one of those switches.
Yes, I have a few extra switches, so if I ever do add rudder, I can just flip it onto one of the switches on the front of my controller.
Mm-hmm. All right. And then, yeah, that looks really great. So, this was your first Flite Fest, I assume?
Yes, this is my first Flite Fest. I had a really great time, and I come from Washington State.
Washington State, that's a good ways away, isn't it?
Yeah, quite a flight.
Oh, you guys flew?
Yeah, we flew from Washington, about a 5-hour flight.
Okay. But you had a great time out here?
Oh yeah.
What was your favorite part?
I think free flying and seeing all the night flyers take to the sky.
Yeah. I'm actually about to hopefully build a night flyer myself.
Oh, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. So if y'all are going to be hanging around, feel free to come out and watch night flying.
Yeah, I hopefully visit every year and keep building on.
Well, you've done a good job. Don't worry about that motor. I think you hook your power up to it. I think you're going to be just fine.
Yeah, I think I just got some dirt in there.
Yeah. You did a great job because you've been flying this all weekend, right?
Yeah, I just took 1.5 days to build it. So basically from that, I've been learning how to kind of do like loops and rolls and tighter turns and all that stuff.
Well, keep flying with it. When you break it so it can't be fixed no more, you just build another one, right?
Yeah, keep the building on.
There you go. Thanks for your time, Aaron.
Thank you. See you, Joe.
So check this out. I'm staying here with a gentleman by the name of Josh King, and he just came up and showed me this. I mean, what would you call this?
Swing wing airplane, but like 180 degree spinning wings. I saw his YouTube channel the other day of the what do you call it?
Matt's Giant Noob Wonders.
Yeah, the Giant Noob Wonder. He crashed it, but I saw it in the tent. I had to go ask him about it and show him the plane.
Yeah, so Matt's around here somewhere. He's gonna love to see that.
Okay, yeah. Cool.
Yeah, it was Matt that was doing that. But tell me about what we're looking at here. You've got like a boat hull as the fuselage, and then a vertical section that's full of gears with the motors that come off, wings are attached, and then your empennage tail section with vertical and horizontal stab. And so now this thing is full of gears, and the wings fold 90 degrees back of each other to tuck in under the empennage area. What all went into that?
So I've had this idea since like 2010 when Peter came out with the guinea pig, and he put the Punjet in the guinea pig, and he had the collapsible wings on it.
Okay.
And I've been trying it ever since, and this year I made a version 1 last fall that had the wings on the bottom. It's really big, and that flew good, but it was heavy. So this is my version 2. It's a lot lighter, but I've got RC car servo at the bottom, and that spins the bottom. That spins the top wing actually, and then it also spins the smaller gear that rotates the left wing. And they're both on one axle. The right wing is connected directly to the axle, and the left wing is rotating freely on the axle. So they both rotate on the same axis, but
rotating
this
opposite
gear,
each other, and you got a bunch of gears down there reversing and gearing down your
one on
servo.
top of the other. Yep.
Okay. Now, do you have a video maybe that goes into the details of that, or just showing it in action?
So I'm editing a video right now of the whole process and everything and flying it and stuff from Flite Fest on my YouTube channel. But
Okay.
I have a lot of footage of it flying.
And that YouTube channel is Eternal Progression?
Yep, that's it.
Okay, same thing on Instagram then?
Yeah, Instagram, TikTok, everything.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to take a couple pictures after we turn the mic off, and then we can include those in the show notes, just as some links, guys. So feel free to go check this out. And it is cool to look at. Like, it's probably the most unique thing I've seen here.
Thank you.
So.
And you can also find the CAD models for this on my channel.
So you did put the CAD out there?
Yeah, everything here is bought from Amazon, so I'll have the links for it. You can build it if you want to. Yeah.
That's cool. I need to find Matt. He wants to see that. Okay, let me turn that off. Thank you very much.
Yeah. All right. Hi, I'm Matt.
I'm Joe.
And this Aviation RC Noob Podcast. We are on our way home from Flite Fest 2023. We're somewhere in West Virginia, I think. We stopped at the most extravagant roadside stop I've ever been in.
Yeah, that was kind of weird. Like it was nice.
It was nice,
but it wanted to act like it was nicer than it was.
It's just a rest stop. in my mind. I need to pee. I need to get something to drink. I need maybe some food. And let me get on the road. That's what a stop should be. But you know what? It was nice. And I'll just take it as that was not what I expected.
Well, what all did you see in there? Because
There was an art gallery. There were paintings. There were artisans. There were people selling craft goods, as well as a whole marketplace. And there's some food and a little bit of coffee, selling shirts, and yeah. And in a little segment, there was some bathrooms.
the bathrooms were an afterthought.
It's almost like it. Yeah. Anyway, very interesting. Tuscaloosa or something. I don't know where the heck that. Whatever.
I don't know.
Anyway, so we're on the way home, and we're going to shoot the snot about ideas that we have, our takeaways, and some ideas of what we might be thinking about for next year, things we realize we could do better, things we want to do differently. Yeah. But I think before we get too far, I think both Joe and I have been kind of overwhelmed with gratitude to everybody who was there, listeners that came up and said, hey, got to meet and talk with so many different people, got to introduce our podcast to a lot of people as well, really kind of getting a little bit more integrated with all the awesome people that do this. I mean, working with Dan for the Wonder Build was really excellent, and we had the interview with Ben not too long ago, so getting to kind of have a different experience with him. Not feeling like we were just, not that we were fanboys, but like, he's like, oh, you're fans of my work. Okay, well, I mean, that's cool, but like, that's not why I'm here to hang out with fanboys, but which is cool. It was just nice to have a genuine experience with all the different people. And you know what I noticed?
What?
Everybody who did a volunteer job, I asked them, what did they like about it or whatever, and all of them had the same thing, which was they really loved interacting and helping whoever it was in that spot, right? Explain your part, because you were running shuttles, and that also means you're one of the first people most people get to interact with.
Yeah, if I get the benefit of carting them, excuse me. Not everybody that comes in needs a cart or wants, but for those that get the shuttle, it's a good time, because if it's their first time, I can hear that, hey, this is the first time, and what are your expectations, or what are you looking forward to, and or I can kind of give them some pointers on the quick trip in. If I'm carting them out, then it's did you have fun? Tell me about it. What was your favorite part so far, kind of things.
Right.
And, or there for a little while I was doing overflow shuttle, so shuttling from the gate out to the overflow parking. And so I had a couple that I carried out there, so there was some chit chat doing that. But I just always enjoy, carrying people around and just chatting with them. Chatting with them, seeing what they're up to. People going back out to their camp to get something else and come back in because they lost it in combat, or a number of things.
We're talking to Mike Perry, our Yankee 2003. We talked to him a little earlier. But, he talked to me about the flight line experience. He kind of did that, and you'll listen to that in his interview. But general is like being able to help kids kind of, people who are having trouble do that little, when you're experienced, it's like, oh, it's this little thing. But when you are not experienced, it's so big. Mm-hmm. That little bit of help makes all the difference. So he helped a lot of people get into the air. I know I'm in the STEM tents, is where I volunteer typically, and just watching families kind of put this stuff together, making sure that they're having success, and watching that spark of excitement and interest and joy. We're going to go through some tolls here, so there'll be rumble strips. Yeah. So, just having that part of the experience, but really, watching the families kind of come together over this. And then, I know there's some people in the build tents, and they just love watching the community help. You just keep going. We're good. Thank you. It says thank you.
Oh, those yellow lights. I was going slow.
That's fair. I got you. But yeah, so having those people in there and being able to help connect people who need help with people who can help.
Yeah.
You know, and Jason Kennedy is a good example. He's one of those guys who just like, oh, you need help with this thing? Let me help you out with that thing real quick.
Well, his kid Michael was saying that his new nickname's going to become Radio Master because he was helping so many people with their radios.
That's so cool. But that's it, you know. And then just everybody's experience, it seems to revolve around the people they get to meet, and enjoying helping their experience be even better.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, that really kind of sums up no matter where you're at. That's what kind of part of what you're doing, you know. And that's pretty excellent. So, yeah, good time. What about you, Joe? What are your takeaways? What are your thoughts? What's rolling around in your head?
Just thinking back to, I'm going to cut this. That's a heck of a frog.
Well, that's why we're going to pause a second and take that out.
Yeah. I'm just thinking back to all the things I got to do, the people I got to talk to. You know, all the listeners that came out.
Yeah.
Anybody that came up to us, those that weren't listeners and, you know, happened to hear about the podcast, you know, all kinds of stuff. But I enjoy those. There's two sets of people that really shine out in my mind. One was the kid and Aaron, who I think by this point will already have put his audio into the episode.
Okay.
But
he's in there somewhere.
Yeah, I was helping him with the Bloody Baron build when we were helping Spots.
Yep.
With his build session. And so I got to spend some time with him and go through that build process. And you know, his mother was there being extremely supportive and encouraging and excited for the kid. And so just getting to see him build it, and then they had to go for the day, and then he wasn't finished. But I said, okay, here's steps you need to take to finish building it. And they were worried about a mounted wing for transport. And I said, well, you can absolutely do a removable wing. Here's how.
Right.
And so then the next day when he come back, and he's like, I got it finished up, and you know, he put some flights on it that I didn't get to watch, but then he was wanting to do a bomb bay or a bomb drop, and he was kind of trying to tell me how he was doing that. And then last night he finally, I thought I just completely missed him, but he come running out of the darkness, and hey, I finished it.
Oh, so cool.
So, yeah, you get to listen to that. But you know, that, because throughout the event, I got to see him several times and see, you know, how he was progressing. And then there was a lady and her kid sitting just down the table from us.
Mm-hmm. It's like you're our table mates, because the whole time we're all building next to each other.
Right. And now Martha...
She was in the pink, right?
I don't remember.
She was building the Flurkin?
Yeah, she was one building the Flurkin.
She was in pink one of the days.
Yeah. It's not Martha who was sitting at the next table over.
She was one of the many support parents.
Yep, and supporting us, took picture and video for us.
I know. Thank you very much, Martha.
Yeah.
No, but you're talking about this the blonde lady and her son.
Right, and so I was able to watch. So she had built like one or two. This is like her second or third. The Flurkin, the Nano Flurkin. And I was like, that you picked a heck of a plane to build. And so watching her go through that build process, and then her realizing that she glued things she wasn't supposed to glue, which with the Flurkin is a problem. And then she ended up, yesterday, she ended up cutting the bottom half of the nose section off to try to fix it. And by the time I got there, and she had already cut it all off, and she's saying, I think I cut the wrong side off, and you know, I don't know, I guess I'm just going to have to throw the whole thing away and go get another kit. And I was like, well, you could, or you cut the section off you needed to. We can fix this. You know, we can make another part. And so I walked her through, you know, taking a piece of foam bigger than what you need, but then, you know, marking and figuring, you know, here's where I want this, you know, this bevel to be so it angles down, and then this one, and then just where we're going to cut it off, quote unquote, to meet up with the next, you know, the piece you have existing, but let's leave some paper overhang so that we can, you know, glue that around the piece that you're gluing to, just for further support. And walking her through that, and you know, we got it done and cleaned up, and she was so happy because, one, yeah, money saved, you know, but also
she didn't have to start from the beginning.
She didn't have to start from scratch, right? And she was able to learn, hey, here's how we can do that. I felt great because, you know, I don't often do well with repairing and rebuilding, so it was a little bit of a thing of like, oh yeah, I can do this thing.
And I feel great because now the Jedi has become the master.
We'll take that metaphor.
Look, this is okay. I watched you go, we'll never be able to repair this plane. It's awful. It's totally broken in half. Forget it. And we're done. We'll have to start over. To like, no, we can repair this. Like a really pretty rough goof on a build where you're like, oh, this is pretty bad. It's not going to be easy to redo. And you just go, no, we can fix it.
It's not a problem.
Not a problem. So I'm saying, you know, you went from like, no, we're all done, forget it, to like, oh yeah, we can fix that, which is really awesome to see. From my side.
Yeah, I wasn't sure how much you were paying attention. Not that I was doing it for your benefit, but yeah, I did kind of wonder, like, I wonder if he's down there like, huh, look at Joe.
Admittedly, I kind of missed. I didn't know what you were doing. I knew you were helping her out, and again, that's kind of a little pride point on my part for you. You know, like, nice, you're doing it. Like that's exactly what Flite Fest is for. I heard a lot of people talk about, especially the people who are really new. They're like, you know, I'm really, we hear about it, but now we're here and we're in it, in the community, and it's so supportive and so helpful. Everybody here wants to see everybody have success, you know?
Yeah.
And they were just really kind of pleased and not pleasantly surprised on it, but surprised, but just really excited to see that this is what it seemed like it was going to be, you know?
All that and more.
Yeah, and then some, right, exactly. I don't know what that was about. Who were you hitting?
I wasn't hitting anything. It's still recording.
Okay, we're good.
Like,
no, I was making some noise over
yeah, I don't
there.
know if something was rattling.
Yep. I don't know if you did.
It might have been that, with us going through that turn.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
Could be this one.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, so that was really cool. Like, hearing you say that, I'm like, oh my God. He's graduated up another level. Nice. It was just really cool.
Yeah. And then just to kind of quickly relive out a couple other moments, because we didn't end up recapping
This is
night.
also a recap for Saturday, so we're just kind of taking takeaways now, but we need to recap Saturday too.
Yeah, because that's something that...
Saturday was a good day.
It was. And so what we didn't do a very good job of this time was, at the end of each day, taking time to recap and do the recording.
We did our best.
Yeah, I mean, there was so much going on.
There's a lot going on.
And so much to do. Like,
we were in those built tents till midnight, till 1 o'clock every night, if not later.
Yeah, and not always just building, but
just hanging
talking to people. And, you know, and it was the kind of talking that it's good, but also we don't want to peel away from it. And yeah, we could go back to camp and recap, but it's like, oh man, I don't want to, stop what's happening here.
Exactly.
So
and then by the time we got a chance to, like, maybe we should go back and recap, we're both like, I'm too tired.
I'm barely wobbling back to camp at this point.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, so we'll recap Saturday in a minute here.
Oh,
but,
okay.
I mean, or do you want to start that? Let's go back. Yeah, because we'll come back to what our takeaways. Let's go back to recapping Saturday.
So Saturday, And I'll let you talk about combat.
Okay.
And then kind of put my 2 bits in on that. Saturday, I got to fly my Wonder, my speed build kit decaled out Wonder.
Yeah.
For the Wonder Jumble.
Yep, look good. By the way.
Yeah, thank you. That was enjoyable.
Mm-hmm.
I found out what happened with my first Wonder. And I don't know if I said as much, but I'll keep it brief.
Okay.
My Aura board inside.
Oh, your crutch.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
I knew it was coming. My Aura board was normally it's stuck to the battery hatch.
Yeah. Why would you put it there? The battery hatch will move.
Because
okay.
it was a point that I knew I could get to.
Okay, fair enough.
Where else in the plane could I go? Because the battery's right there. So there's nowhere else on the plane I could really put it that I felt like I could get to. But yeah, in the rush of putting the battery in to get going for that first Wonder Jumble, I knew that there was normally 2 things that get pushed into the back of the plane. One's the receiver, the other is...
We're on the line.
I know, sorry. One's the receiver, one's the battery alarm. Well, when I opened it up, it was putting stuff in. I saw 2 items, and I just pushed them to the back, stuck my battery in. Well, that second item was the Aura, not the battery checker.
Oh.
And so that Aura was all. So as soon as I.
So it was not level or flat.
Yeah, as soon as I let it go, she was fighting me.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That'll do it.
And I could not. I was like, why is she flying so bad?
She's trying to get level, darn it.
She was trying. And the other part of that is if I had realized what the problem was, I thought it was like something got bent, a control surface or something. If I realized it was a board, I could have just flipped the board off.
Right.
And been fine.
And you would have been all right.
But I was in the air for like 30 seconds before you hit me, so.
Well, yeah.
And I have pictures. It happened.
Look, that's circumstantial.
you almost cut my plane in half.
Okay, so what ended up happening is when Joe came down. Are you sure this wasn't Friday?
That was earlier. That was
we already
recapped the first
that part.
jumble. I'm just saying.
Yeah, okay.
I figured out what was wrong.
You figured out what was wrong. Okay.
Yeah.
That was
if I didn't say it earlier, I figured out what was wrong.
I'm sorry. Now I'm tracking.
You're good. So then, I had the new Wonder that hadn't flown yet, maidened in that, and then I didn't end up.
Wait, you maidened it in combat?
No, I didn't put it in combat.
Oh, in the Wonder Jumble.
In the Wonder Jumble. Wonder Jumble was its maiden.
Nice. Okay, cool.
And the turnout for that was awesome.
Yeah, turnout was great. We had a bunch of Angel Wonders, which are the blue Angel painted Wonders, a bunch of them in there. I think Tony had a red one, Tony Lewis. Oh, by the way, I want to thank everybody who helped out in launching the giant noobs.
Yeah.
Those 300% noobs are not, they're easy to launch, but it's really tough to do by yourself, and it was really awesome to have some help. So everybody who volunteered, I really appreciate it, big time. So the blue noob Wonder had an accident on landing in tight quarters. By the way, you did the best you could. It's not easy. I thought I was going to do what you did, honestly.
I just had a bad approach, and then it turned towards the crowd, and
you went, uh-oh. You're like, out of here.
I got to dump it.
Yep, got to dump it. So anyway, so consequently, the blue one was not up, but I had the orange one still, and it was working pretty good. I had a quick repair to do, got that in, and it was pretty sturdy, which I felt really good about, because I was a little worried it was going to be just undo itself in a matter of minutes, and we were going to watch it crash.
Out there,
like, uh-oh. But basically the paper had delaminated from the foam, so just glued it back. It was ready to go. We got it all set and up, and we just flew around with everybody and had a good old time. It was awesome. There was, I think Hank Flies had, he had built one not from plans, and he did his best with what he was measuring and seeing from stuff, and I know he had a hard time getting that there.
He wasn't even doing it from plans?
No.
Oh, dang.
No, he just was rough cutting it. What? Which, that's why I was like, holy cow. And then he markered it so it looked just like the other ones. And he did such a good job. And so we ended up we had a bunch of kits that I'd like to thank. Well, I'm not going to thank our sponsor. He told me I can't identify him, but you know who you are. Thank you for helping us get some kits to give away. So I think Rara SVT was able to get one for the first Wonder Jumble. He was up there forever with his Prandtl Wonder.
Yeah.
And the second one, Hank, I think he had a hard time getting that in the air, getting it to fly right. I don't know if he got it up. But he got one so Hank got one for the last Wonder Jumble. And then the second one, I totally spaced. I couldn't tell anybody from anybody. And by the time I thought about it, it was the end of the day, and it was done. I don't know.
You don't know who you gave the other one?
We didn't have a winner on the second one.
Oh, right.
Because we just kind of spaced. So sorry about that.
But it did ultimately go to.
But consequently, we had one to give for the combat. So after we did the Wonder Jumble, that was awesome. Everything went really well. It landed smooth. And then we were able to take it into combat at 2 o'clock right after that.
Yeah.
I think I had a battery switch out, and off we went. And so I put the Wonder Jumble in, or the 300% new Wonder, the orange one, in the combat, and that was the one with Peter Streifel put his plane that was even longer.
Yeah.
It was like the extra long one.
That thing was ridiculous.
It was ridiculous, but that was part of the fun, right? You know? And you launched that for me in the combat, if I remember right, didn't you?
Yeah, I mean, I half expected you to have grabbed somebody else. That's why I wasn't running to camp and back.
Well,
but then when I rounded the corner, you were like, "Where are you?"
I wanted you to be part of the combat. I wanted you to be part of that.
Well, thank you, because I rounded the corner and there you are, looking for me, and I realized you don't have anybody. That's when I started hauling. Like, oh no!
And they're like, "Do you need help?" And I'm like, "I think it." And then I'd seen you. I'm like, "He's there. He's coming." And then of course I knew we were going to wait for a while to have Peter get up, figure out what they were going to do with that. And that took a minute.
On that.
Yeah, but
and it wasn't Peter's fault.
But off he went, and it went up in the air like a centipede with wings or something. Like, it was really kind of cool.
It was weird to watch.
And I asked him earlier what his idea, what the concept was. He goes, I said, "So what's the support structure in this?" And he goes, "Oh, it's carbon fiber from tip to tip." And I'm like, and he goes, "No, it's none. There's none." And I'm like, "Okay, so the wings are supporting each section individually? They're just mostly just sort of connected?" He's like, "Yeah, that's what we're doing. That's the concept." He goes, "I want to see how this works." I'm like, "Cool. That sounds awesome."
And so every session that he flew it, he added another link.
It's ridiculous. And of course, it's in combat, so everybody wants to bust it down. And
it didn't take long.
No, he got his up, and then the big ones went up in the air, and the new got up, and it was flying beautifully.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, it was flying so good. And then so I'm flying around waiting for everybody to get their thing in gear, and I'm just kind of zipping back and forth across the crowd, hoping to snag people. I didn't snag anybody. And then I hit one kid, and I think he went down. And then
you hit the plane, right?
Which one?
The kid's plane, not the
I hit the kid's plane. Yeah, sorry. I hit the kid's plane. I don't know who it was. So if I got you, then awesome, and I hope you had fun with that. I think it ran into me. He's like, I got hit by the big guy. That was awesome. And I was aiming to go right as he was starting to come up, and all the people started swarming his wings and actually hitting his wings. This Peter Streiffel's wings.
Right.
It was up at like 45 degrees, and it was a perfect, like, if the nuke could have come through and just smacked it in half, that would have been brilliant. And I was aiming for that, and depth perception makes it really hard to do.
Yeah.
So I missed that. And then honestly, he was already going down pretty much by the time I got over to that side of the field. But then we're just zooming around and just having a good time, and we really I brought down a couple planes, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, at least 2 that I saw.
Right.
And there was one that they tapped you. I don't remember which way it was, and they went into the death spiral. And they pulled it just a foot off the beams.
That's what you would explain.
The corn.
Which is so awesome.
And I was like, no, daggone, could have had another one.
Almost. But it was fun. And then, there weren't too many people. There was one big guinea pig and me and a bunch of other little planes. And near the end of it...
Ethan had his wing out there.
No, he had crashed it by that point.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he had nosed it straight down.
Oh, like, then that wasn't Ethan that was chasing you.
No. Oh, he was for a little bit, but then wasn't. But so I was flying around, and I managed to come in low from the right over to the left, and I swept right into the guinea pig. Just came up right through him, and it just like we smashed him, and he went right down.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, oh! and then I'm pulling up, and of course I'm losing energy. I'm at the end of my battery, but I'm like I kind of pull
the battery
around.
wasn't fully charged when you put it in there.
No, it was, but it was a 3300, not a 5000 milliamp.
Oh.
So I had a lot less time to play with. And so anyway, so I'm coming up out of that, and I realized the left half of the wing is clamshelled open. And I'm like, I got a big drag rudder over here. Uh-oh.
That's a problem.
So I'm rotating to the right to kind of counteract because I don't want to rotate into the audience. At this point, I'm just on the other side of the runway. If it starts to yaw left, I'm going to hit people.
Yeah.
Right? I'm like, I'm not doing that, not with this plane. So I rotated to the right and kind of came around. But every time I did that, I'm losing lift. And I don't have the power because the battery's almost out. You know?
Mm-hmm.
So I came around and I just wasn't able to kind of pull out of it, and I set it down in the beans or in the corn.
Set, quote unquote, set it down.
And I think it actually clipped a little bit of wing and went in a little bit hard, but no props were damaged, no motor was damaged, no ESC was damaged, none of the servos went bad or anything. Everything was really good. The plane got kind of torqued, so it was like, I'm not going to repair that for another combat, but it was awesome. And then there were, people cheering and having a great old time. And that kid who had the guinea pig, I had his motor in my wing from the strike. I'm like, I got a consolation prize. This is great. And I'm like, hey, I know this isn't mine. It's probably the guinea pig's. I'm like, hey, you think this is your motor? He goes, you found my motor? Awesome.
Did you find, was my battery in there too?
That's right. He's like, is my battery in there? I'm like, no, man. And so he got a prize from Stefan for being, I guess, taking out the Noob Wonder, which is the big plane at the time, which is cool. And then we had that extra kit, so I gave that to him because he was the last one to make contact with me before we went down, so it was awesome.
Yeah.
And he was really excited about it, and they fixed that guinea pig up and put it back into combat again.
Did they?
Yeah, they did. I don't know how successful it was, but it went back up into combat at 6 o'clock or whatever it was, or 7 o'clock, I think. So yeah, and that's part of what's fun about combat, And if I really had not been so tired about repairing all the different, I would have just taped the living snot out of that thing and said, "We'll see what happens,"
Yeah, but you were about done working on those giant wonders.
I was done fixing up wonders. Is pretty much what it came down to. But I learned a lot, and that's the other thing. It's like I learned a lot about the design choices I made and how they affected how repairable they were.
If it helps, I learned a lot watching and listening to you go through this process. So
nice.
Hopefully.
Oh yeah, that's pretty cool. And so, I would have done some things a little different with the box, with a connection from the wing to the fuse. And I know how other balsa planes do it, so I have ideas on how I might be able to do it again. If I do it again, something bigger like this, I'm going to do it differently, and I think that'll make a big difference in how serviceable it is in a crash.
Mm-hmm.
So we can continue to keep it up in combat, because that would be fun. I feel like I should buy a dollar store like those big vinyl strips, so we can just repair the front edge by rolling a vinyl strip across the front, because that was a concept. I'm like, maybe we should do that. And he was like, that would work. I'm like, yeah, probably would. So it was, again, that was if we're going to end the 300% Noob Wonder adventure, dying in combat was a good way to go.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. I kept getting a lot of people asking, like, is that going up in combat? Is that going? I'm like, after the last Wonder Jumble, it's going up. And they're like, sweet. We also get a lot of comments of people saying, that was the coolest to watch in the sky. It was so easy to pick out, like, really good job, like, that looked so good, And I was like, thank you.
Well, it didn't hurt that you were flying it in such a way that every opportunity you were hammerheading with the logo facing the audience.
Yeah, well, I was showboating. What do you want? But no, I mean, look, I was doing, it's a combat plane, and I designed it to be able to handle combat loads. I was a little worried about the tail because we had just repaired it. But other than that, I mean, she could have done all the things.
Yeah.
And I was a little leery about, she wasn't handling a loop quite the way I wanted, or some of the rolls were a little like scary. So I was like, oh, I'm not going to do too many of those. But I did a couple of those, and people were like, wow, you're really doing some aggressive combat maneuvers with that thing. I'm like, oh, that's kind of what it's for, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So if I do build another one again, because and that's kind of where we want to think about, you know, where do we want to go next year if we're going to go anywhere with this concept, or we're going to do something else. I don't know why that guy's stopping up ahead.
Doesn't matter.
No, but I'm just saying I'm looking up ahead and there's not a whole lot.
Really?
Yeah. But whatever. There might be something further ahead.
I mean, I wonder, because I'm slowing down faster than he is with my foot just off the gas.
Right.
So I wonder if he's not just got his foot just barely touching,
yeah.
just to light up the back end.
Maybe that's it.
In which case, turn your lights on.
I know, right?
So your running lights come on.
I'm worried about him scraping the left side of his car against
Yeah, he is riding a little close.
That's right. I'll feel better when we're out of the tunnel. All right. One of the many tunnels in West Virginia.
I love a tunnel, man.
Yeah, tunnels are fun. I know a lot of people get all weirded out and scared about them, but I think they're awesome.
Yeah.
All right, out of the tunnel. Whew.
And out of West Virginia.
And welcome to Virginia.
Virginia's for lovers.
It is. That's what I heard.
That's what they say.
Hey, baby.
So how did you like the jousting part of the combat?
Yeah, I think they just tried a whole thing where they took like, look, if you're on the left side of the field, go out left, and the right side, go out right. We're gonna come at each other full tilt on 3, 2, 1, go. And at that point, everybody just sort of full tilts at each other and hopes that there's going to be some awful collisions. And it turns out there was one or two, but they were hard to find.
Yeah, well, like combat in general, it's hard to hit somebody.
Hold on, we're not done with Saturday.
That'll be the last story of Saturday. I know exactly where you're going.
Well, so we're going to earmark that jousting thing and hard to hit in combat for just a second.
Yeah, we're going to put a little
asterisk.
Yeah.
Remember that thought. Okay, so then, yeah, we brought it back, and I mean, at that point, I was just kind of hanging out and talking to people. I was getting some interviews, you know, and you went and got your Flirkin, because I know at the last combat, that was at 2 o'clock was the big Flirkin combat. I fixed up, I found my BEC. I just happened to root through my box and went, there's the BEC for the FT Arrow that I had built.
Okay.
That was the only thing I needed. I was waiting for that. I couldn't find it. So I found it. So I'm like, I soldered it up, got it ready. I'm like, well, I'll throw it in combat. But I was wondering, like, where's Joe, man? He wanted to do the thing in the combat.
I was on duty.
Yeah, you were on duty, but you had said that, like, they're going to let you go in so that you could go do the combat thing, because that's what you're looking forward to with your Flirkin.
Yes. So I had asked Mike, and
thank you, Yankee.
Yeah, Mike, Yankee, thank you. And again, I do feel a bit bad asking you to, like, center my plane. I know you don't mind, but it's just...
No, if it means much, like I talked to, he was excited to be able to help you.
So I had asked Mike to, because the plane was built, I just knew it was going to need that nose weight.
Yeah, because you had a 2200 4-cell?
22, 2300, I think it's 22, yeah.
Right, and that battery needs like a 3300, so it needs like a lot of extra nose weight to get it to fly right.
Yeah.
And he knew that, because he's got one, and he had to do this same thing.
And he was telling me that, and so I'm glad I asked him, because I knew that I wasn't going to have time to get it balanced, because I had just been asked to go help with
the extra duty.
With extra shuttling. Duty, right, for shuttling. And so I said, well, I'm good to do it, to do extra work. But I do want to be off for combat, if that's okay. And I'll ask somebody I asked Mike to balance my plane, and then if all things work out, if it's balanced, I'll come and do combat. And if for some reason it's, like if Mike couldn't get to it, then I'll just jump back on the carts.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Mike did get to it, so thank you, Mike. But I guess the hot glue wasn't holding, so he had to use the Gorilla Glue.
Yeah, Gorilla Glue, and that takes a little bit, like a half hour to set or something.
Yeah, he said it wasn't going to be set for combat, so I came off the shuttles, checked it, he said, yeah, I got it, but it's not going to be cured for combat yet.
Yeah, it stinks.
Yeah, and I said, okay, well, I'll just hop back on the carts.
Yep. And I was like, oh, man.
Yeah. But it just means I get to bring home the Flurkin.
Yeah, exactly.
Which
you
is
definitely
cool.
got to. Yeah.
And I would have been maidening it in combat, which I was fine with.
That's the best way.
I'd have done it.
Not the first time you haven't just maiden something in combat.
Is it?
Yeah, I think you had mentioned you had another plane you were going to maiden in combat. And I thought you did.
No, that was going to be the Noob Wonder again.
Oh, okay. It was a Noob Wonder. I thought
right.
It was the
kitted
Wonder
up,
Jumper.
but I ended up not
But you made it
putting that one in combat because I was like, that's so pretty. I don't want to mess that plane up.
And I was maidening the Arrow in that combat.
Okay.
Because I built it and I had everything ready except for that thing to be able to power it up. And I was running 3-cell on a 6-cell, like a low KV motor. So I knew I'd have to gun it, and I completely forgot that I really just need to gun it. And I got everything kind of trimmed out, like in a couple quick tests. And I in combat, I launched it, and it went about 100 feet and back into the corn. I'm like, oh. But it's okay.
So speaking of having to really gun it, I was looking for you guys, and I walked out to the flight line, and then y'all saw me and came out.
Mm-hmm.
After my cart duty, so it was getting to be that twilight almost.
Yep.
And you hand launched it for me, the Flurkin.
Yep.
And boy, I was nervous about that.
Yeah, and I remember you're like, well, what do I do? I'm like, 100% throttle. You're like, are you sure? I'm like, 100% throttle. Go and let me know, and I'm going to toss it good. So be ready.
Well, my intention was, because you were looking at me like, waiting, and my plan was as you were in the process of throwing it, I was going to throttle it up.
No.
But I guess that could be dangerous messing with you, so.
Well, no, then at least I have the force. I know what I'm dealing with.
Right.
So that as I toss, I can, because if it starts to go, it might start coming around at me. Yeah.
Yeah. So that works out. But, I mean, it launched, and that first second,
yep.
Like, you got to be right there staring at it, ready to react. But then once she gets enough airspeed,
yep,
she floats up into the air, and then she's so
gentle.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, you throttle back, get her where she's flying straight and level, and she's just gentle. She looks beautiful in turns.
And you did such a good job building it. It looked great.
Thank you, by the way.
Some good work, sir.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad. You're like, I don't know. I'm like, no, really, 100%. Like, my experience has been, remember last year? We had all, KIX was out there.
Everyone was having trouble.
Everybody's having such a hard time because you don't normally pull full throttle and just go, baby, as hard as you can. But that Flurkin needs all the go to get up to speed. But once it has enough speed to control, you're good to go. You're good.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the Bloomin' Flurkin, that's why they might have try to go down that path. Not just because they thought it'd be cool, but that's part of it. But the other thing is the airflow is going over the surfaces more.
Right.
And you actually get a lot better control, and a lot better lift profile for probably at a lower speed.
Plus the Boomin', if you don't modify it and put a third motor in the bag, you can actually hand toss it as opposed to having to discus throw it.
Exactly, because the motors are in the front. So anyway, it's just another reason why they probably continued at that design until they found that. I haven't seen them do anything else. So I think they're happy with where they ended up on that.
Yeah, I think they really wanted to do more, like use the Flurkin as a base design to do a bunch of different, not just variants with simple changes. I think they really had the idea to do some cool stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Well, yeah, who knows?
So that was that. I flew it around, landed it. Nice.
High fives all around.
Nice greased belly land. And
yeah, that was beautiful, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you. Mike was super excited.
You redeemed yourself from earlier. So
that's right. I can land a plane.
You can land a plane. Nice.
When there's not a crowd nearby and the plane's turning into the crowd.
Yeah. That always helps.
Again, because the Giant, it was not on the best approach, but I was fighting it. I was fighting it the whole flight anyway.
Right.
So I had it on a reasonable approach, and then it started rolling towards the crowd.
Right. Well, it was a cross breeze from behind us, so it's pushing the tail fins away from us, which means it was turning the nose towards the crowd, which means you had to turn it to the left, like roll it to the left a little bit, as there's no rudder. So that's the only way to really handle that, is basically bring it in and then just level it out right before it hits. That'd be right before it lands. And, whatever, it's what happened.
Yeah.
I'm not, I mean, like, part of me was sad, but I'm like, no, you did the smart thing. Like, don't get anybody injured. The plane is expendable. Yep. That's really okay.
So the Flurgan flew once. It was great.
Yep.
You and Mike went off to the side.
We'll finish that interview in a second.
Yeah, and as y'all were gone, I made the wise decision.
Oh my God!
To convince Michael Kennedy, who swears to me up and down he sucks at discus tossing. I'm like, You'll do fine.
Oh my God!
Just get me up in the air again.
You should have made Yankee do it.
Yeah, but y'all,
he needed all the practice.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. No, I'm so glad that Mike.
Michael Christian. Not Michael Christian. This guy at work. Michael Kennedy.
Michael Kennedy. Too many mics all at once.
Shadow Lord in the Discord.
Yeah, very good. But yeah, that he was able to help you out with that.
Yeah, and so, but that was definitely too dark to be flying.
Oh my God, it was dusk. It was the silhouette flying time. That's apparently your favorite time. Should I call you Silhouette Lord now? Joe Silhouette Web?
So my hope was to do just 2 laps and then bring it in.
Yeah.
But after 2 laps,
I remember Mike's like, Joe, you need to be above the tree line, otherwise you will never get it back.
Well, that was during the first flight.
Yeah.
Y'all had already gone.
Right.
But yeah.
But that was the advice he left you with.
And
we saw you stuck to it.
Yeah, I did.
We're happy for you.
But after 2 laps, I was like, okay, I'm ready to bring it down. But the runway wasn't clear. Other people had showed up, were putting their planes on the runway, were taking off and landing.
Yep.
And so I had to fly another 2 or 3 laps. In this sketchy low light, I really wanted her on the ground
before you doink it.
Yeah, before Michael would say, all right, you're clear.
Yep.
And then on landing, it was an okay approach. It wasn't my best. And I caught the edge of the runway with my wing.
Yep.
The rollout runway.
Yep.
And it did a number on that wing. Like where it ties into the fuselage. But that's a weak point anyway, and I had missed a glue joint there.
Oh, okay, yeah. And that's easy to do on that build.
Yeah, and so I knew about that missing glue joint.
Okay.
I just forgot about it in that flight. I meant to go finish that glue joint up.
Yeah.
So, but I've already got it fixed. It was an easy fix.
And we were so proud that you could get it up there and fly all that stuff and bring it back in really one piece.
Yeah.
We were like, hey, look at that. He did it.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
No, it was good. No, we were worried, man. You did such a good job on the Flurgan. We wanted you to have it, to be able to come home with it, And we were both rooting for you.
Well, I appreciate that.
I know with the FT Arrow that was done up in the Thunderbird logo stuff, like I was trying to launch that. I was having a hard. So after that combat, I grabbed it and I just kept at it, trying to figure out what was wrong. And I finally got it up in the air, and I was flying it around. I love the way it looked, but she's a handful.
Is she?
She was a handful. I need to get some true trimming attention to it. But okay, so that was kind of what we did around combat time, or about after combat time. And we're talking to a bunch of different other people at the end of the week.
I bet that's Rachel.
Okay, anyway. Yeah, so we were talking to a bunch of people, and then it got to about nighttime flying.
Yeah.
You had bought an Easy Pack, right?
Return of the Asterisk.
Now back to the Asterisk.
Yeah, so after seeing you do night flying the previous night with it, and seeing how fast those the version 2 of the Easy Packs rip on that little
they fly like a regular RC plane.
Almost,
really?
Yeah, like the speed that they go at is impressive.
Right. And then the lights really lighted up at night, and it was fairly easy to follow. And so you built. We went over to the STEM tent. They've got kits galore. And Trevor already told me, he's like, look, if you have somebody who needs a kit, go get a kit. Like, so we had grabbed a bunch of kits and then some. But you picked one of the really simple ones to build. It's kind of a planker. And you built it, put it together, and we went out to the field at like, what, 9 o'clock?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. Maybe 10.
I mean, I was waiting for you for a while.
Well, and that's the other thing of Flite Fest. Every time you go somewhere, you run into like 6 different people who all want to have, 5-10 minute conversations. And you're like, okay, well, And I stopped back and I was talking to Matt from at our campsite for a little bit, and I'm like, oh, right, I got to get the planks. I came here for a reason, so I grabbed them and came back. We're about to hit another tunnel. Should be exciting. Well, hopefully this guy doesn't scrape the side of his car in front of us again. But yeah, no, so, and then I finally came back, and then we went out to the flight field with Doug, who's Horseman, I think 76888, I think, on the forums.
Okay.
And he and I had a lot of different conversations over the years. You know what I mean? On the forums and met each other at Flite Fest a couple times. And he built like 747 with a shuttle attached and a shuttle attachment. Anyway, always interesting stuff. But he came out with us, and then I don't know who else we had with us. Was it Matt? Yeah, I think Matt came.
Yeah, Matt was out there.
He joined me. He's like, oh, I'll see how this goes. So you and I both. What's that? I think that was it.
Did the guy from Fayetteville come out?
Yeah. So Merck and Mike Kennedy were off in a tent way off to the right. They're shooting off bottle rockets or something like that, right? And so they were doing their thing, right? And we just launched these in the air, and we're flying around a little bit. And we're both coming at each other, and you're like, I'm going to come in for formation. I'm like, there's no way I'm going to hit that guy. And all of a sudden, whack. And then yours goes colliding off to the left, and mine disappears.
Well, see, I thought it was mine that had dropped straight down.
Right.
But, no, so I had gotten in the air. You had launched, but didn't seem to have any control.
Oh, right, yeah, and I had to go retrieve it first.
Yeah, you had to go retrieve, so I got a little flying in.
There's high rates for a reason.
And then you got yours in the air, I was already in the air, so we were on different ends of the little flying area. Mm-hmm. You were cutting across, I was heading back across towards you. And I said, yeah, I'm going to try to fall in behind him, and so I cut it hard to the left.
I mean, we've got combats with like 100 planes in the air, all trying desperately to hit each other and rarely doing it. And here we are, 2 guys with planes in the night.
They're tiny.
There's no depth perception even remotely, except for maybe your sound, maybe? I don't know. And there's nobody else in the sky.
Nobody else in the sky. Yeah, depth perception thing. You're just like, I'm going to fall in behind this guy. I'm going to make my lights fly with his.
And we couldn't have done it if we tried.
No.
Couldn't have done it if we tried.
He's just whack.
And all 4 of us start busting out laughing like, oh, this is ridiculous. I can't believe this. And then, after probably about 15 minutes of solid searching, way too far and then way further back, and then we found the plane, and then we found the battery. Because the battery had come dislodged, that's why the lights went out.
Okay.
And I'm like, oh, there's nowhere we're going to find the battery. I'm like, I've got another one, and I'm disappointed, but we'll be okay. And it turns out it was all right. So we found it, and I think mine was, at that point, needed some love. I don't know what it needed, but it needed some love before I was going to fly it again. I think the one motor had come off.
And mine was absolutely not flying well.
Right.
And I put it up in the air and tried, and it wasn't flying well. And then it, got a rough landing down in the corn, and I picked it back up, and by that point the tape, like the waterproof foam, it wasn't soaking up the water, but water managed to get under the tape. So the tape wasn't sticking, so the motors were getting misaligned. I said, all right, we're done. Yeah, that was fun.
But then we did have some fun with it. I'm looking forward to when we get to have some more fun. So.
And I did pick up 2 packs of those.
Yep.
So I can see if Rachel's interested.
Yep. I'm hoping she is for your sake. Otherwise, so what you might not know is that if you put both of those units on and you bind all of those units. So,
Really?
Yeah, so you can have like a 4-motor thing. Or more.
Huh.
If you can extend the wires. You can probably do even more. And then that's one of those, like, in the STEM tent, because that's where they were doing a lot of that kind of stuff. Trevor, who runs the STEM tent, and I were talking about, like, man, we could probably do, like, a Spruce Goose version. And he's like, oh, man, we could do that.
That's awesome.
And I'm like, well, I'm not going to spend that kind of money right yet, but, like, you got my gears going. Thanks a lot, buddy. And he's like, that's what this is about.
So let's transition back into, I guess we largely kind of did our takeaways during that.
Yeah, well, then let's think about, what do we want to do better? What do we think about for next year? And that, like, what should we have? I should have brought a rain fly. You know, like,
yeah, that was a whole
sure.
thing.
Oh well, anyway, it's water under the bridge now. I have a better tent for my stuff. But yeah,
I would have gladly shared my tent with you.
I know you would have.
But I am very glad that I didn't have to.
Two bears sawing logs in the woods. Angry bears. But that's a mud covered bike.
Yeah,
that sounds like somebody had fun. Yeah, I don't know. I think we did. I feel like the food situation was okay this year.
Yeah.
Like last year, it felt like it was almost like, oh my God, do we have to go to the cart too? But I think having the sandwiches, I don't know, worked out pretty good.
Well, we had the sandwiches the one day.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had a real light lunch one day off the volunteer set because they had hot dogs.
I was going to say the volunteers provided breakfast and lunch,
mm-hmm.
and I think that's what really made the difference.
It helped. I didn't get lunch and breakfast every day. But
yeah, me neither.
As I could fit it in or as I could be by when it was happening, that was nice.
Yep.
So that was not having to eat off the food trucks.
Yep.
So if you're not volunteering, there's another perk to volunteering.
Yep.
Free coffee. Free hot tea.
Yep.
At least this year there was.
Yep.
And they were doing breakfast and lunch.
Yep, it's really cool. That's really cool.
That's nice. I mean, we ended up eating out the trucks twice, and then I made a run into town because I had a hankering.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, no, I felt good that I didn't have to burn a large part of my budget for the event on food. Yeah.
Yeah, it ended up working out okay. I came home with more money than I expected I would. I expected I'd find something like, oh, I gotta have this. And it turns out I was like, I'm happy with what I've got. I'm pretty good.
Yeah, I had pretty much decided that I wasn't going to buy anything.
Mm-hmm.
And then you went night flying, and I was like, I gotta do that.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
And then I think the last little bit is, was it the morning we picked out planes? What did you pick out?
I ended up getting an A10.
Okay. Oh, yeah, right. The giant pack of, like, look at this pack of foam.
Yeah. Which, I mean, it's just sheets of foam.
It's okay, but it's awesome.
But there's also a fair bit of wood in there.
Yeah.
So I'll have to have you tell me the concept of putting a EDF in there sometime. Yeah,
well, or it's actually designed to have a 5-inch quadcopter prop stuff.
Well, yeah, and that's what I meant by the concept.
Okay. Yeah, we'll talk about that because I bought the wood kit because I knew I wasn't going to be able to cut one on my own, but I could cut all the foam. So we'll make A10s.
Well, Mike's also got an A10.
I know. I told him, I said, we're going to all fly them together. And he's like, oh, yeah. Oh, okay,
yeah. Get them all painted up.
Give me, I'm like, he's like, give me like a month head start. Because I'll get it going and then I'll bug Joe until he gets his done. Like, okay.
I had my Flurkin done before his.
Yeah, anyway.
Well, granted, mine wasn't weighed and all that, but...
That's all right. Yeah, what other... So, I think camping, we did good. And thank you, Matt and Ethan, for joining us in the campsite and helping us get there and get that all sorted. Like, that was a good experience, and I'm sorry we didn't spend more time down at our campsite. Honestly, it was a good setup there.
Yeah, normally we spend a fair bit of time, or at least I do, in camp.
Yeah.
And we were in camp, like if we had to go back and grab something real quick.
Yeah.
Or if I was running back to grab a drink, which was a hefty walk just for a drink, and then, just to go back to camp and crash.
Yeah. Oh, and the flag was a hit. I think the flag was a big help.
Yeah. Ethan and Matt said they had a number of people come by because they saw the flag, and they're like, "Are you Matt and Joe?"
Yeah. So if you're one of those guys that came to our site because we had our flag there, we appreciate it. And I'm sorry, hopefully we caught you up somewhere in the festival.
Yeah, I think we really expected that we would be in the camp more than we were.
Yeah.
But given how far away the site was.
Yeah, it was either coming to get something or just not even bothering.
Yeah.
But, yeah, and then, I don't know, it's just good to catch up with all the people you saw the years before and meeting new people. That's just awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good festival.
It is, and next year, I guess, is Flite Fest's 10th anniversary.
Yep.
So we got to figure out something.
Yeah, they started in 2014. So we've got to figure out what we're going to do to be part of that in our own way. We'd love to hear suggestions and ideas. We want to kind of nail down an idea maybe 3-4 months out from now so that we can, whatever it is, we can start working on it so it's not a, hey, you have 2 months to build 2 giant new wonders.
Yeah. Which we already had the motors for a giant plane.
Good luck. Yeah, I know. Now we're all set to start working on stuff like that. So I'm thinking we got one plane that we pass back and forth. Might be a lot easier on us as a collective, to build. But we'll have to figure something out. We're going to figure it out.
Yeah, or maybe... you'll build one giant and I'll build the other.
A 500% new Wonder, like
Oh
Speedy
my
Bee
God.
version, but only one. But a 500% with twin motors on it.
We wouldn't be able to carry it.
Yeah, we would. I'd break it down.
In the 5-foot sections again?
Yeah.
The 5-foot section thing worked perfectly this time.
We had 4 of them in this car.
Yeah.
That's the 20-foot wingspan plane.
I understand, but you didn't have to break that 20-foot wingspan into 4 pieces. It was a 10-foot wingspan into 2 pieces. It's not so much the breaking it apart, it's the putting it back together.
We have the technology. We can rebuild it. I have ideas now.
So, part of that is, what do you guys think maybe? Yeah. And some of it will be what's Flight Test wanting to do. But if there's something you guys want to do that, as a community to celebrate 10 years of Flite Fest. Also, start rolling around ideas for next year's fly-in bird. Mm-hmm. Again, the first year we did the Spitfire, we had some, a couple people excited about it, but I think the better result was definitely letting the community decide what the fly-in plane was going to be. And again, Matt and I have been blown away by you guys' excitement and energy about this. So
even if you couldn't come, the ones that we saw posted for the people who couldn't make it, it's still just wow. Just really blown away. Thanks a lot, guys, for helping that be such an incredible event.
Yeah, because everything that happened in that regard, like so much, I mean, other than giant noobs, like you put a ton of work into that. But as far as like it being picked out, the design being done, the event happening, getting on the schedule, like all that, like 90% of that was handled by you guys and Dan and Tony, which is also part of you guys. Like,
yeah, by the community at large.
It was nice because Matt and I were able to just do the thing. It wasn't a whole lot of legwork on us.
Yeah, that was a big help,
and that was awesome.
So thanks to everybody who helped make that even cooler than it was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
So heck yeah.
Yep. And there'll probably be new Wonders brought next year.
I'm looking forward to that.
Because it is a good flying bird. I got to get used to not having dihedral.
I don't know what you're expecting. Just fly it like it's going out of style.
Well, yeah, but every plane I've had has had dihedral.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. I'm used to it rolling level when I let go of the stick.
I guess
Slowly.
You're just digging that nickname in there harder.
Shut up.
All right. So I think that's it for this segment.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else we really need to talk about.
If you're new, hi.
If you're new and we met you out there, doubly hi.
Yeah, double hi. And we were really glad we got to meet everybody, and hope you guys, get to enjoy this. So.
I guess we happen to think about something. We'll just pick it up next time.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have probably for the next 2 episodes, we'll have audio bits that we'll share from where we were talking with people at Flite Fest. I don't know how many exactly we have. I wasn't counting, and I don't know how many Matt did. So.
I did plenty. All I'm gonna do
Did
is
you?
I did like 4 or 5.
That's more than I was expecting you to do.
Well,
I thought you had like 2.
And you were ragging on me the whole time.
I was, because you weren't carrying your mics. And then when you did take the mic, that's when I needed them to get the kid.
Well, a couple people, I was like, they're all like, no, I don't know. And I'm like, oh, the hat guy, yeah.
The hat guy?
Yeah, the hat plane guy. I got to talk to him.
Okay.
Yeah, it was good. After we made it was good. You'll see. It'll be great. So
Yeah.
you have to listen to the episode, just like I have to listen and see what was the deal with the kid that you talked to. I'm eager to hear it. So, all right. Well, thanks for listening to the episode, and we'll talk to you guys next time.
Oh, we're going to do it that way?
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
Bye.
Yeah. Bye.